All right, let's talk about a story that, well, it really gets under your skin. It's a classic piece of psychological horror, and honestly, it's just as unsettling today as it was over 100 years ago. We're diving deep into Charlotte Perkins Gilman's The Yellow Wallpaper.
So, let's start right where our narrator does, feeling completely trapped. She's stuck for the summer in this big old mansion, in a room she hates from the second she sees it. And that one line, it just sets the whole mood, doesn't it? You can feel the confinement, the judgment, the total isolation, and this is supposed to be a room for healing. And right here, this is the heart of the problem. It's her powerlessness. She's suffering from what she calls a temporary nervous depression. But her husband, John, who also happens to be her doctor, he just dismisses it. He doesn't believe her. Think about that. The one person with all the authority over her health, her entire life, is telling her that her own suffering isn't real.
So what's the big plan for a cure? John puts her on the rest cure. Now, this was a real thing back then, pretty popular, but also pretty controversial. And yeah, rest cure sounds kind of nice and gentle, right? But believe me, what John thinks is a cure and what our narrator actually needs, they're not even in the same universe.
And this is where you see this huge clash. On one hand, you have John's prescription, do absolutely nothing. No work, no writing. He doesn't even want her thinking too hard about her own condition. Total passivity. But on the other hand, you have her. She knows deep down what she needs. She needs stimulation. She needs to be engaged, to use her mind. Her spirit is just screaming for something to do, and he's prescribing, well, emptiness.
Wow, this line is so telling, isn't it? It's like she's whispering it to us in her secret journal. The irony is just staggering. The one person who's supposed to be making her better is actually the reason she's not getting well. His authority as a doctor becomes this kind of tool. A loving one, sure, but a tool of absolute oppression. She wants to trust him, but her gut is telling her this is all wrong.
Okay, so think about it. Her sharp, creative mind is being starved. Every single outlet is forbidden. So where does all that mental energy go? It has to go somewhere. It latches onto the only thing it can, the room. And more specifically, that hideous yellow wallpaper.
So this nursery she's in, it's not a healing space. It's a prison. I mean, the windows are barred, for children, supposedly. The floor is all scratched up and gouged. The bed is literally nailed to the floor. And the wallpaper? It's already been ripped up in huge patches. This is no sanctuary. It's a cage. And you get the feeling she's not the first one who's struggled in here. Her obsession starts with the color. And listen, this is not a happy, sunny yellow. The words she uses are unclean, revolting, a sickly sulfur tint. It's a diseased color. And that's so important because it's a perfect mirror for how she feels inside, sick, in a way that nobody else will even admit exists.
And then there's the pattern itself. Her description of it is, well, it's a perfect description of her own mind at this point. It's illogical, it's chaotic, it's even self-destructive. The lines just don't make sense. They commit suicide, as she says. Her whole world, under John's strict control, has stopped making sense. So she's trying to find logic in this senseless pattern, just like she's trying to find logic in her own life.
Okay, and this is where everything changes. This is the big turning point. She goes from just being disgusted by the paper to being analytical, obsessed. She starts to see something else in it, something hidden, lurking behind that chaotic design on the front.
At first, it's not clear. It's just a formless sort of figure. She says it skulks behind the pattern, like it's hiding. What's really happening, of course, is that her mind is projecting a presence onto the wall. And who is this presence? It's someone just like her, trapped behind a confusing and oppressive pattern.
The way her perception shifts is just fascinating. By daylight, John's world, the world of logic, the figure is quiet, subdued. But then the moonlight comes, and in the moonlight, everything changes. Suddenly, that front pattern, it looks like prison bars. And the figure behind it, it's as clear as can be. It's a woman trapped, just like she.
And now, the figure starts to move. It's not just a shape anymore. It has agency. It has intent. The woman in the wall is fighting back. She's shaking the bars of her prison, trying to get out. Our narrator isn't just watching anymore. She's now a witness to this desperate struggle for freedom, a struggle that's a perfect mirror of her own.
And having this secret, it empowers her. For the first time, she has a real purpose, a mission that is hers and hers alone. Her goal isn't just to understand the wallpaper anymore. No, now she has to defeat it. And as she gets closer to that goal, she starts to merge with the very woman she's trying to set free.
Things are really escalating now. The hallucination is no longer contained in the room, it's broken free. The narrator starts seeing this creeping woman everywhere outside her window. The line between the wall and the world, between her and this woman, it's not just blurring, it's completely dissolving.
Her mission is now totally all-consuming, and it's driven by these intense sensory details. First, there's the yellow smell of the paper, and she says it's everywhere, all over the house. Then she finds a physical clue, a smooch, this long smudge along the wall, like a trail left by the trapped woman's constant creeping. That's it. The plan is set. She has to physically tear down the paper to free her.
Oh, the irony here is just brutal. John actually begs her, for my sake and for our child's sake, not to let this idea enter her mind. He thinks it's a fancy, a silly thought. He has absolutely no clue that her fancy has turned into a full-blown mission, a desperate plan for what she sees as liberation. He's scolding a child for an imaginary friend while she's in the middle of a life-or-death battle.
And that brings us to the climax, the ending you just can't forget. It's the last day they're supposed to be in the house, and our narrator knows she has to finish the job. She has to free the woman once and for all. And what's so chilling is how methodical she is about it. This isn't some frantic breakdown, oh no. She spends the whole night helping the woman tear the paper. In the morning, she locks the door from the inside and throws the key out the window. She is calm, she is deliberate, and she is in total control of this new, terrifying reality she's created. And here it is. The big reveal. John finally breaks down the door, and what does she say? She doesn't say, she got out. She says, I've got out. The merge is complete. The narrator and the woman from the wallpaper are one. In her mind, she has done it. She's finally escaped her prison. She's won. And the story leaves us with this final, absolutely horrifying image. John sees her and just faints. He collapses from the shock. And her reaction? She's totally detached. She's almost annoyed that his body is now in her way, an obstacle. So she just keeps creeping. And every time she circles the room, she has to creep right over her unconscious husband.
You know, that one word, creeping, is the key to the whole thing. It starts out describing this hidden, oppressed figure behind the paper, but by the end, it becomes her own form of movement. It's her triumphant, almost animal-like crawl. Her freedom isn't about escaping into the real world. It's a total regression into madness, all within the same four walls.
Which leaves us with the story's big, haunting question. I mean, think about it. In her fight to break free, did she actually escape? Or did she just shatter one prison, the one her husband built, only to create a brand new, maybe even more permanent one inside her own head?